Hey Gemini, this is your general tarot reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of February. Gemini, let's do as we always do here. I'm going to shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energy that you may feel throughout the month. So, you felt the lunar eclipse. I know you did. You definitely did. We all did. It happened for you in your third house of communications and travel. It could have been a real moment for you when it came to traveling where it was just a nightmare. It was just something happened, perhaps for some of you, where you were pushed, pulled, prodded, and there was a moment of you saying, never again, I am never doing this again. It's too tiring, it's too draining, it's too stressful. It frazzled my nerves. Yeah, so maybe some of you had to go on a short journey or some journey that was just fraught with tension. And yeah, as the first card, yeah, and this is Mercury in Sagittarius style card where there was a lot of high speed, high activity, go, 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 go. Your mind was kind of switched on and it was spinning, 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 and it was uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. You needed that break, that space in your mind. Now, Gemini, with the lunar eclipse there could have been a moment where you felt completely unheard, that you weren't being listened to, you weren't being understood, you were saying the words over and over and over again, maybe for a while, and you weren't being heard. People were misinterpreting you, misunderstanding you, and it seemed like no matter how you explained it or how you asked, it wasn't happening. And there was a real moment again where you just kind of thought, well, what am I bothering for? What am I bothering trying to communicate this for? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And you could have had a real moment of tension. That could have been a real blowout also between you and somebody else, maybe a female figure, that it was just a battle of words. But when somebody goes to a battle of words with you, Gemini, they don't know what they're getting into. So you could have gone into overkill a little bit here, a little bit. But that's something that can be repaired here this month with some of the energy going on. You'll get over it, you'll fix it, and you will repair it. And the other thing going on here too is that you felt too that you had put yourself for too long in an environment of low-level shit, low-level bullshit. For the last year, Gemini, you've been building up your sense of self-esteem and self-worth, and you've been growing. And I mean growing even more than you even give yourself credit for. And there's a moment here at the lunar eclipse where you said, I have outgrown this bullshit. These people and the things they have to share or talk about, bitch about, gossip about, I am so past this. It's noise and it's nonsense and it's like going round and round and round and going nowhere. It's just chatter without anything of any value in it. And now that I value myself more, I'm taking myself out of that. Because you've bigger questions now, Gemini. The Sun and Mercury at the start of the month are in the 9th house, where you remove yourself from that chaos, that madness, the bitching, the low-mindedness, and you say, I am just going to see things from a totally different perspective here. I'm removing myself from that shadiness, and I am going to just get back into a better vibration where I neutralize some of the toxic stuff that was thrown at you, perhaps at the end of January. And you want to brush it off, you want to clean yourself down. It's like, oh my God, I've got to wipe all of that off and start again because I've got more self-worth and self-esteem now than having to deal with this any longer. I'm going to there's an element here too, Gemini, of you saying too, that I'm going to make a clear decision on something. I'm going to be brave. I've more confidence, more self-esteem, more understanding about certain situations. So I'm going to make a clean decision once and for all. You've been given choices, and now the decision, it seems, has been made. Now, all the pieces may not be in place yet to facilitate a decision that you've made, but you've taken a kind of leap of faith, Gemini, into, I've made the decision, the universe will come and supply me with what I need to make this happen. It's a great attitude, so stick with that. You're looking for these bigger, higher answers, a higher level in your life, a higher level of people around you in some way. And it's not like a snobbery, I need a higher level. It's not like that. You understand certain things so much better now. And you want that space and time to expand that. You have a hunger and a thirst to know more. It could be a month, Gemini, where you spend a lot of time, watching back-to-back TED Talks, or finding a guru or a mentor or a guide or somebody that can bring bigger answers to you or open up some next part of your journey to you. It's almost the energy of finally beginning to step through into the places that you feel you need to go. What's supporting that on February 4th is the new moon in Aquarius in the 9th house. There are new horizons, new places to go, and you've got to take a leap of faith. And this is you traveling light with your head up high, and you're saying, like I said to you a moment ago, I don't care. I'm just going to go for it. And I know the universe has my back when I do this. Some of you could use that wonderful skill of communication that you have, be it through writing, speaking, or transmitting knowledge in some way, education, where you want to open that up and both do two things, both learn more, but at the same time maybe teach. Begin to share the knowledge that you've discovered in a more meaningful way. You see, the 9th house is quite a lot to do with meaningful communication. And that's why you're separating yourself from the other people, because they're just chatter, noise. You want something more meaningful. And you're taking that leap of faith to make that happen. Higher vibrations. A lot of you are focused on that, working to higher vibrations. Maybe it's something you've been studying and now you want to know more, learn more about vibrating higher. This is where your mind is at. Now, as you're doing that, there could be a moment where Venus is inspiring you, the goddess of love and money, inspiring you from the 8th house. She's moving into Capricorn, into the 8th house. And she is doing something. I get the sense here, Gemini, other people have been provoking you. Last year, with the 8th house, Saturn, Pluto, and now Venus this month going in, this veil has been lifted. And you've seen it for a while now. You've seen the behavior of other people. You've seen it. And it's been exposed to you. And you've seen brutal truths and kind of truths about how other people treat you. And it hurt. All 2018 was a bit like that. It hurt. Maybe you felt you meant more to other people, and it turns out that they only needed you for some skill or talent that you have, something that you do for them. And you're saying, I'm smart. I mean, Gemini, nobody pulls the wool over my eyes very quickly, but in this case, I'm getting like sandblasted by the universe. It's taken away all the crap that was in my view. And now I see just how complicated and manipulative some people in my life have been. So now with the 8th house, Venus going in there, you're going to take a lot of pleasure, I think, this month, Gemini, from drawing a line and saying, I see you. I see the game you're playing with me. I've seen how you've been treating me. And I have more self-worth, Venus, worth, value in the 8th house. Not so much possessions, but more about moralistic values, core values, the value that you give to yourself. You're just now saying, you don't value me. So see that corner? You stay there and I'll stay here. And until you learn to treat me with this new respect that I've generated for myself, then you can stay there. And as much as we have a history, as much as I love you and as much as I care for you, I can quickly unlearn how to love you and care for you if you don't treat me properly. So you'll be pushing, provoking, demanding, testing the waters so that you have a clear, I know you, you don't respect me, I know you, you're giving me the kind of respect that I deserve in my life. I don't deserve to be disrespected anymore. Now, Venus is there too, saying she wants pleasure. I was going down a route with something there and I got a bit sidetracked because as I was leaving that thing of me saying, you don't deserve that anymore, I felt that in my heart. I felt that thing that you've been dealing with for the whole last year of, I don't deserve to be treated like this. I don't know how to get out of being treated like this. But all I know is I don't deserve it. Well, you're getting to make that line now. So I felt that, Gemini. You'll get through this. You most certainly will get through this through your power, through your confidence in understanding what deserves your time, who deserves your time. I just get that feeling that the scary part in all of this is that half of you, of course, being Gemini, there's two halves, but half of you doesn't want to see. You don't want to see the truth. And the other half is saying, I absolutely, give me the truth. Give me the truth because I will not be feeling like this anymore. Just give it to me. So this month, I think, be delicate with yourself, Gemini, because it's very hard to unravel ourselves from people that we thought were one thing and we gave so much to them. And then when the universe gives us the brutal truth, maybe through other people coming to you and saying about a friend or somebody you're in a relationship somehow, maybe even a business relationship, people might have been coming to you, dropping hints and saying, are you sure that you want to be in some sort of a relationship with this person? Are you sure? You know, they're a little bit X, Y, or Z, and you're saying, I don't see it. I just have great fun with them. They're my friend, they're my partner, they're my close buddy, work colleague, my business partner. I think they're great. And now it seems that it's slowly being exposed. The 8th house is a great one to expose things. Because what it doesn't want you to do is to be wasting your energy on people who don't deserve it. This is the energy of tidying up and cleaning up and separating yourself from users, Gemini, users. And that might be, I just feel that it might be very hard for you to see that in some cases, that it's very hard to accept that some people might have spent a long time really just playing you like a puppet and using you for something that you have. Yeah, there's a few cards come out. But you know it. You know it in your heart. You know it in your soul. It's the mind that needs convincing. It's the rubbing the sleep from your eyes and saying, oh man, I see it. I didn't want to see it, but there it is. Yeah, excuse me. What you might see too, Gemini, is the trickiness of people around you, people in general. And some of those trickeries might come in the form of money. Don't be fooled by anybody trying to pull the wool over your eyes when it comes to money this month. Hold your ground and investigate anybody who comes to you and says, you owe me money, or you didn't fill out some tax thing or some government thing and now you owe us money, or blah, blah, blah. Don't panic. Say, hold on a minute. Explain this. Because you don't want to be fooled there, it seems, by somebody trying to trick you with money. Now, Venus is also the goddess of love. So what I'm going to say, in the 8th house, for those of you who have identified your true, people, your true love, your true friends, there's a great intensity about the relationships now. When it comes to love, there's great depth, power and intensity between the two of you. There could be some little tug of war, there could be some moments where you kind of have that thing of, if you loved me and if you understood me, if you got me, if you knew me as a person, then you would love me. Sometimes it gets a bit like that. So when those moments come up, no, it's the 8th house triggering all that shit. It's the energy of wanting to bond with somebody deeply, sexually, psychologically, and you won't be prepared to stand for anybody who isn't meeting you at that level. It's got to be deep. It's got to be all in or nothing at all. No time for time wasters. Time wasters need not apply. That's the kind of energy, but it's very hot. It's very passionate. And it's a place where deep commitments can be made to the right people. So that's very, very nice. Now, Mercury, your ruler, going into the 10th house on February 10th. February 18th, the Sun going into the 10th house in Pisces. Now, when it comes to your work, and a 10 card, 10, everything is 10, which means that you could possibly go through a little bit of struggle to finally understand that you've completed something, maybe in work. There's the energy of going a bit more gently into some of the work that you're doing, allowing it to be infused with something softer, more sensitive. For those of you who work in fields where it's very important for you to express sensitivity, the healing fields in some way, even through communication work that you're doing, as the last card actually comes out, and I'm going to talk about that. The energy of being like her, sensitive, open, receptive to vibes. So you might find that when it comes to the work you're doing, or anywhere where you set yourself apart from other people and where you're a leader in some way, there's an element of needing and benefiting here this month, Gemini, from being very intuitive, being very open, sensitive to other people's feelings, sensitive to other people's moods. And this somehow helps you within your career. And the more in touch you are with that, the easier this month is going to be to navigate through your work. Bring in more sensitivity. You might be feeling the vibes of other people, your co-workers, your clients, people you work with, the general public. For those of you who work in some sort of customer service in some way, you might be feeling a vibe. It's like you're tuned into something else. And there will be something in this, if you go with it, Gemini, that will be to your advantage. You will learn something very important here with Mercury in there. So go slow in the work that you're doing and feel things out. It's not the month of rush, get it going, because you're more in a different zone of relax and feel this, tune into this, observe this. You're being put in a place, Gemini, where great secrets can be revealed here if you allow yourself go with this. And within those secrets that reveal themselves very subtly to you, you could find something in that works to your advantage. So it's worth it. A time of healing the mind after the craziness of the end of January happens here too. The Sun is also a great healer. Trying to also give you the opportunity to have some great success when you work more privately with the work that you're doing, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Take the time out to work on your own, work in private, or work with very gentle people, or people who are very abstract in their thoughts, very creative. This is very powerful for you if you go with that. Mars on Valentine's Day goes into Taurus, into the 12th house, before I look down at the cards. And again, this is a time where you might find your energy is a little bit down, that physically your energy is just a bit, it's not there, and you could be doing vitamins and everything to try and prop yourself up and wake yourself up, drinking coffee, Red Bull, whatever it is. You might be doing that and it's not happening. To get through this, rather than trying to stimulate, it's the opposite. It's get into it, relax. Mars, the warrior, with Taurus, the physical body. Maybe it's time to do some gentle exercises, yoga, tai chi, where you allow the body work out some pain also, because it's in the 12th house. Some of you could be going to a chiropractor or a physician, some person, a healer, to try to unlock some emotional tension in your body. Release something from your body. A healer might be able to do that for you. So it's nice energy. Again, working towards the full moon in February 19th in Virgo in your 4th house. There is some home issue, something that you're doing in the home that will finally come to an end at the end of the month. But we'll probably talk about that when we get to the cards. So finally, Gemini, let's look at the big, ta-da, grand overview for your February month. Now, strong communication, fast communication. You're entering the month feeling battle weary after that. It's like somebody threw a bunch of stuff at you. Yeah, threw a bunch of stuff at you, and it was tough, but you're over the worst of it, Gemini. Yeah, it was hard, there's no doubt about it. Some bad vibes, bad feeling, stuff going round and round in your mind, things that had to be dealt with. You were in a frantic rush, it's got to be done, it's got to happen, look at the time, it needs to blah, 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 blah. But know that as you enter the month, that intense pressure is now more relaxing. It's now, you're going into that space where you say, I've come through all of that. It's not melting my mind like it used to. I am now just dropping my stick. I can see it. I'm at a different place now. So I can see what's been thrown at me. I can see the insanity of what I've just come through. And I've seen how much it hurt me and drained me. And I see now why I need to recover from this. And I'm going to take it slow, because I'm taking an absolute brand new leap of faith into some new direction. But first I need to relax and meditate upon it. I need to clear my mind. I need to relax so that when I'm in this meditation zone, I can expand the ideas and open up about what I feel I should be connected to now with my life. Should I connect myself with something that means something more to me? Should I connect myself to a relationship that means something more to me? With people, with my environment in general. It's got to mean, I've got to feel, unless I can feel absolutely bonded to it and connected to it, it means nothing to me. So you're taking that big leap of faith, and it's scary, Gemini, to walk away from certain situations, projects, work, family members, brothers, sisters, people that you suddenly realize weren't up to your standard. It's brave of you, I have to say, to take that leap of faith, because what you're doing is you're beginning to, thank God, trust everything you've learned in 2018. You're beginning not to waste your effort and energy anymore. You're beginning to recognize that you have your own safe space inside of you that's developing and blossoming. And you're not going to let anybody stamp on that new blossom that's just emerging anymore. You're not going to take it from them anymore, Gemini. They don't get that part of you, that sacred inner part of you. They don't get it. Excuse me. And I'm very proud of you for taking that leap of faith into doing that. thinking about where you can go next. And the month is less about thinking, because I think your mind has just short fused. It's more now about feeling. It's visceral. You have to be connected to something. It's like re-engaging with your body and understanding finally that your body, that there's more to you than just your brilliant mind, that there is a body and a soul and a depth, and there is complexity and beauty, and there are things beginning to blossom, things that need care, things that need to be protected, nourished. And you are giving that to yourself as a gift to yourself. It's beautiful, very precious, Gemini. I like that energy. I like it. I'm just looking down here. For some of you, now you get on very well with the Sages. I know you do very, very well. But I will say this, for some of you, it could have been a Sagittarius who disturbed the equilibrium. Could have been a person from a different culture too, or a person slightly older than you. I'll just say that. And Venus had been in your 7th house, where maybe things got absolutely cold between you and a Sagittarius, and that made you sad. You remember I said there are things that you're just saying, I don't want to see that in them. I want the wheel to start turning again so I can only see the parts of them that I love. I know. And maybe, not everything is cut and dry. You don't have to dump people. Very often people say, ditch them, get rid of them. I don't need that in my life, and I don't need... Really, the first thing we do is say, you can stay in my life as long as you go by the new ground rules. And maybe you can give people the opportunity to respond to that. Because very often people only treat us the way we allow them to treat, the way we allow ourselves to be treated. So now that you're somebody new, you can say, there's a new script, and I really hope that you play along with the script. There's a new narrative. Please sing along with it, because I want you in my life. Sometimes it's like that. Now, mid-month, we have a little bit of regret over words that were said. And I see that Mars in the 12th house is a period where you could, if you want to, if you feel that you went into a little bit of overkill with some communication at the end of January, start of February maybe, and you went a little bit too hard on somebody, there is a moment to repair this. It can be done. You don't have to lose anything here. In some cases, some of you might have felt that the thing you said might have given you extra problems, extra burdens. And maybe some of you are saying, oh God, I don't know if I really want to apologize to that person, but maybe I should just do it because now it's just extra in my life. I'll apologize just to clear it up. Okay, sometimes it works like that, no judgment. But I think as we go into the month, there is a real moment where you get in touch with a moment of you saying, I really did go a bit too far. And now I have to kind of carry that, and I don't want to be the bad guy or the bad person. I don't want to be that. I never do, but why do they keep provoking me? So it's a little bit of a burden that you're carrying there too, that you can fix. You certainly can fix this month, Gemini. Now again, mid-month, you turn this around. It seems that you're turning something around. Communicating with people in general is turning around because you're coming at it from a gentler place. I know this doesn't look like a very gentle card, but sevens are always representative of Venus. Now, okay, Venus ultimately wants us to communicate from a gentler place, but being in the 8th house this month, she is, you remember I said making that clear line and saying, back off, you shady wenches, back off. This is me standing up in a higher position, higher moral authority, taking care of myself better and my own self-esteem and self-worth. So back off, and I will defend this space. It's a new territory for me, and I will defend it. And the only people that can get past me and step up on this higher place with me are people who prove to be worthy of it. And I will defend that at all costs. And you know what the result, excuse me, Gemini, the result of this will be that you do find the people who are willing to share true love with you. That's a partner, a friend, somebody in your life, key people in your life. The real ones will be made known. And you will be able then to finally commit to them in a very strong way, with Venus in Capricorn, who wants to make solid and long-term commitments to the people who are able to look at you face to face and exchange the cup of love with all honesty, all sincerity. And you see the way he's standing with a sense of eagerness. I mean, people should be at a stage where they're running to share love with you. Anyone that you have to beg from, beg love, time or effort or energy from, that's not what you're going for here. They have to openly and willingly be ready to stand in front of you and say, you need me, I need you, I will be there for you, and I commit to that. I bind myself to that forever in some cases. Karmic bonds, 8th house, very karmic. And the 12th house, Mars in there, chopping away and cutting old cords with people, old cords that you did once have solid commitments to. There's a great turnaround here for you in terms of the quality of love that you are taking into your life now, and having no fear to cut karmic ties with people who are lingering in your life, that you had something with, but you must absolutely accept now that you don't have anything with them. And it's okay. You don't owe them anything. They don't need to give you anything. It's a line. Thank you. Sayonara. And when you do that, look at this, Gemini, the end of the month, it's all about you being reignited. Mars in the 12th house is bringing in new weapons for you. He's going into a quiet place in order to recharge you. First, he has to heal you. That's why I said some of you could be very interested in getting some healing work done. He's bringing you the gift of purifying old relationships, purifying the old filth that came in, and almost like they walked in to a room in your heart with dirty shoes and muddied it, and I just get that feeling of they have to leave. They've dragged me down and they have played with me psychologically. That's the worst part. The worst part is that they have played with you on a horribly deep level. And they will get their karma back for that, Gemini. I promise you that. That will come back to them. The ones who really went in and manipulated you and tried to change your psychological settings in some way. I think in no time at all, give it a bit of time, but in no time at all, you'll see karma fix that and bring that back into balance. I'm feeling that. Of course, it is Aquarius season. We've got Lilith energy there. And I think that's it, the Lilith, the wild one, the scorned one. If you've been hurt so badly by someone, it seems this month she's instructing Mars to clean that once and for all. I feel that. And then you can be brought back to life again at the end of the month. But go slowly. This is not at the end of the month where you get the green light to go crazy again and do this and 1,000,000 things all at once. You remember I said, focus on the things that are now assets to you in your life. Assets. You want to start a new side business, Venus in the 8th house, generate more money. That's where your focus should be. You want to open up into new education, study something new, enlighten yourself, get on a higher vibration. That's where you give your energy. Everything else, none of those other people get your energy. You know what I'm feeling here too, Gemini? I think you've somebody in your life who's a constant drip, 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 drip of your energy. They're like a faucet that can't be switched off. They never go away. They will go away. Give that one a bit of time though, but it's been worked on, I assure you. And then new energy and new love, new fire and new passion. I think for some of you, after Valentine's Day, sometime after Valentine's Day, I think you could really meet new passion. I'm just looking down at the chart here. Maybe around February 17th, you could find a new reignition with somebody that you are very, very attracted to, and somebody that could prove to be true love, and somebody who is prepared to go deep with you, somebody who does gaze at your soul and enjoy the fruit and all the bounty that lies within, somebody who gets you. It's a surprise connection. I'm feeling that. Okay, chart. Where is this coming from? Aquarius season always brings some level of surprise to everybody, but where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Who is it? Around the 17th, 18th. I'm just feeling that there is a surprise connection. Also around the 22nd, there could be some new connection, but they get you. They suddenly light you up. They find a room in your passion that you've never entered before. Yes. That when you see them, this could be love at first sight. Now, I know some of you are in a relationship, you're going, what? What am I going to miss? You're not going to miss anything. Let me come to you in a second. But looking for love, even some of you who are already in a relationship, you could suddenly meet a very magnetic person who mesmerizes you. And they see things in you that you're saying, oh my God, I didn't even know that was there. Tell me more, tell me more. And they seem to be able to pluck out the best of you. And they are the Pied Piper. They play a tune that you really want to dance to. So I see it as love. But for those of you who are not interested in love, there is definitely a magnetic person. Somebody who sees, they say, and I see in you the way you do that, that reveals something. And you're saying, yes, yes. There are great revelations coming. A person is going to see you, the most intimate side of you, the most deep, dark side of you, and they'll be okay with that. You, excuse me, there's the element here of wanting to reveal secrets to somebody that you've never thought you'd ever tell anybody, let alone somebody who fascinates you so much. But this is the connection that's being made. And you know what it does? It zaps. It's almost like suddenly all the light switches are coming on in your psyche. Your intuition, spotlight after spotlight after spotlight. Psychic, psychic, psychic energy. You see things, you hear things, you're alert and alive again to something. Mars in the 12th house will do that, energizing and putting a big, switch on and illuminating your psychic energy. Magnetic, psychic, energetic, and harness that energy, Gemini, because this is the reforming of the strength in you to the next level. You've done 2018, now we're going up a gear, my love. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And before I go, I'll just say some of you could be a great person to get wise advice from at the end of the month. Somebody could be coming to you with all types of relationships problems, And at the end of the month, you're just sitting there like the wise sage saying, I can answer it all. There'll be this aura of, I know, I know. Gemini, that's gorgeous energy. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now, to get the real details, Gemini, you know what we usually do here. By now, I hope. We have the deep readings on Vimeo, the deep read, and we open up things of love for those of you in a relationship, the singles. We open up things around money and career, family, friends, and other things that might crop up there. We'll talk about them too. And of course, they are all in the deep read. The readings all linked down there in the description box below. Please come along, Gemini, and see what's going on. Now, for everybody else, of course, I'm going to wish you a wonderful Valentine's Day, and I hope you have a great month in general. And I'm going to leave you, as always, Gemini, with all my love and a great big Valentine's kiss from me to you. Mwah. Bye, my gorgeous. Until next month.